guilty.
What's good, guys? It's your girl Fats. Hope you guys are well. Today we have a special guest, second returning guest of the year. I am joined by a Zimbabwean artist based in Milton Keynes, one of the best out here right now. Well, always been the best. I'm joined by Kazz Khalif. Hey.
What's happening, Fats? What's going on? How are
How's the
you?
new year been for you?
Hey, started off with a bang. It was good though. It was good. It's been a good start to the new year.
You've recently had your tour in Australia.
Yes.
What was that like? Like, what was the vibe like there?
Well, the Australian tour was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting to go to Australia for the longest time in my career, and I never ever got that opportunity. So this time, it was special. I also got to I was lucky enough to be able to do the tour as well as um, be there for my sister's big 50th as well. So it was pretty cool. Shout out to the tour groups and the promoters for making that possible. But yeah, man, Australia was just such a vibe. I mean, hey, you get a lot of love online and everything, but when you touch down in say Brisbane or Perth or or all these places, Melbourne, Sydney, it was it was such a surreal feeling because getting Zimbabweans to vibe with you, that you've never vibed with before, they're all the way that side. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so shout out to all the Australians that came through and supported us on the tour, myself, Tanaka Siziba, and the main man, Nati Odi Boy, Ability Extension. So it was really dope, man. I think all good reviews from a lot of fans got back to us and let us know that yo, you guys smashed it. So it was really dope. I really loved it.
A lot of people say that, UK's bad vibes, UK's bad vibes. But when you go to Australia and
Uh,
obviously you meet like your fellow Zimbabweans, is the vibe
mm.
different compared to here?
Do you know what? Yeah, four different cities, right? All had different vibes, all great energy, but just a different feel. You know,
Mm.
Sydney was dope. It was on a Thursday night, so obviously a lot of people, not many people came. Should I say not? People came through, but not as many as the other cities because obviously it's a Thursday night. But the guys that came to Sydney were on point. Like they were weekend energy. Let's just put it that way. And then
Ooh.
after that, the other places, like I said, Brisbane. Oh man, Brisbane showed love, bro. They came to party. Like they didn't care who was singing. They were just vibing. So I was like, listen, stage is not on me right now. Let me get into the crowd. Let me vibe with the people. And we just made a one big party, man. And that was Brisbane. Shout out to Brisbane. Perth came through because that's where my family is from, and they came through, and we also had a great time there as well. And last but not least, obviously Melbourne. Melbourne also came with a different vibe also as well. It was a nice club, and yeah, man. Like I said, all different kinds of vibes, but all good nonetheless. Do you know what I mean?
What was the weather like there? Was it different like weather there? Was it cold?
English weather when we landed in Sydney. But by the evening time, everything had cooled down, and it rains, but it's still hot. You know what I mean? So it wasn't so bad. It was like a UK summer rain in a
Ah,
sense. So people were there wearing jackets, and I was like, nah, this is nothing. This is nothing. But it was dope. It was dope. I mean, we were obviously on the east side, and there was a bit of rain when we first started, but it cleared up, and it was all sunny skies from there onwards. Do you know what I mean? Like Perth, when we landed in Perth, man, it looked like we just landed in, I don't know, Miami or something, because we landed and then we went on the coast side and literally just saw palm trees and we're like, where the hell are we? Perth is beautiful. So yeah, it was really dope. It was really dope. Yeah, the weather it wasn't so bad. I mean, like I said, day two was already, sunshine and blue skies. Good. It was definitely good.
I love that. And of course, like I've
Yeah.
seen the videos, like the vibe was definitely amazing, especially when you gave them a bit of a teaser to the new latest single, Madhau. It went off. Like you
Yeah.
shut the stage down. Like, oh,
Listen, that was one of my biggest highlights. I mean, like I said, Brisbane came through. Like I said, they came to party, and because the energy was right in the room, it was like, you know what? I spoke to DJ Cherry Moyes, and I turned back and I was like, let's give him a taste of the new one. Let's see what the vibes are. Because you know when the vibe is just right, the way the show just kicked off, like as soon as I came on stage and I did my thing, I was like, let's warm you guys up. And we took them back, old school. And they were just like all in this, vibration. And I was like, yeah, this is the perfect opportunity to be able to then, showcase the new track. And literally, by the time the first part of the chorus came on, everyone was singing it like they knew it, which is so. It's like the best feeling that you would want as a musician and as a singer and an artist. So yeah, man, that was pretty dope. That's what kind of like solidified to say, right, let's release. We're ready now. A lot of people don't realize, but that track was actually we wrote it and we finished like it was mixed and mastered by end of 2022.
Yes, I
You know,
remember. I remember
yes,
because I remember when you dropped the teaser, you basically dropped a combination of different songs that you're about to release, and I
that's
thought
it.
this
Yeah.
one right here, it needs to come through ASAP.
I remember you hit me up and you were like, "Yo, that Madhau thing." Yeah, so you called it from the get go. Like you were like, "Yeah, I remember this." I remember when I dropped it, you were one of the first people that were like, "It's finally out," and I was like, "Yes." That was pretty cool. So I'm glad it's out, and I'm glad that you called it. You know what I mean? Even a year ago, you called it.
The track is literally going off on TikTok. Like, it's going viral. I can't stop
Yep.
playing the track. It's on my playlist on repeat.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
we're gonna talk about the track. Like, how did this track come about? What does Madhau even mean?
It is. It's a strong woman.
Ooh.
It's a strong woman. It's a very strong woman. It's a woman that kind of. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's basically a strong woman, and I'm basically shouting out to the strong women that are doing their thing, in this day and age. The ones that are not like bound to social constructs of back in the day, like how they used to say, the woman stays at home and cooks. And this is the shout out to the new women that are pushing themselves, putting them out there, putting themselves out there. And it's also like a cry to like to say to people like, you know, um, we see you, but
Mm-hmm.
there's also certain lines that you shouldn't cross because audar, there's certain things that you do and there's certain things you don't do. I don't want to go,
Okay.
like I said, I don't want to go too deep into it because a lot of different kind of like ideas to it. So and that's what music is all about. It's about being able to just kind of be open about it, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So yeah, but it's nice, and it's like I said, it's a Anamadao is like it's like totems in Zimbabwe. You got
Mm.
Anachihera, Anamamoyo, Anaswanda. There are so many different strong women, but they all like fall under Madao, if that makes sense. Lioness, in a sense. So
Interesting.
yeah, and it was my friend and I wrote the song Tanaka Siziba. You've met him before. We did a track last year called Go Barbie,
Mm.
and that also kind of trended as well for a little while. But he was one of the writers that we're working with, and a guy by the name of Sammy J from South Africa. He made the beat, which is also very interesting about that story. But yeah, we came together, and I remember like Tanaka and I, we were in the studio one time, and basically we were vibing to a lot of stuff, and he came in and he was telling, and I asked him like your favorite, one of your favorite Zimbabwean, who is one of your favorite Zimbabwean artists, and he's like, oh man, it's Alec Machesa, gotta be. And I was like, why? He's like, because I'm similar to him. He's kind of my inspiration. And I was like, I hear you. He's also a big inspiration to me as well. But he's like, yeah, that's why I started playing the bass line because Alec Machesa plays the bass and sings as well. And you don't really get that many artists that can do that. Do you know what I mean? As in play an instrument, let alone the bass. It's like saying, watching a drummer do his drums and then he's also singing at the same time. That takes an amount of skill to be able to do both. You know what I mean? So it's one of the reasons why we loved him. And we heard a track of his called Madhau, and we've known about it for a long time because it's an old song, but it was nice. The message in the song was really really nice, and we wanted to do a different take on it. And so big shout out to Alec Manchester because Darawia Akbatra, because he's given us inspiration to be able to bring old school vibes back into the new era. And I feel that that's what we did with this one. So big shout out to him. for allowing us to let this happen. Um, and yeah, and literally that's how the song came along, man. I'm just really happy that it's out, and I'm so glad that people are vibing to it, and the kind of sound that it is very special to me because obviously it's what's popular right now. That I'm a piano with a bit of house, that Afro, call it Afro sounds. I'm happy with the sound because it represents where we come from, and it's nice to be on something like that. So yeah.
It's very interesting as well that you say that because we see like, you know, different artists like that, like different artists like US artists,
Mm,
collaborating with artists like Asake collaborating with her on Lonely Remix, and Usher
big
now
track.
collaborating with Feels and Burna Boy.
Exactly. What
And
a jam.
I know,
What
how does that make you feel that now Afrobeats is now making it to the mainstream, now it's being played on the mainstream? We also see your track being played on
on
BBC whenever.
mainstream, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's really, really, really beautiful. I mean, we've been wanting this to happen for the longest time. It
Mm,
was just a matter of time, and I'm just glad that we are in that vibration now where we're also releasing music and it's being accepted, which is really great. You know what I mean? Shout out to Eddie Caddy for helping us out there. Shout out to my man E for making that happen. It's such a beautiful thing that people are collaborating because that's what it's all about. It's all about
yeah.
collaborating, and doesn't matter what country you're from. You should collaborate. You know what I mean? I'd love to see some Indian Gujarati singers jumping on Amapiano because you know cross pollination. That's what music is all about. We know that music is a universal language, and universal people should be able to intermix and mingle with all kinds of genres. You know what I mean? So I'm just really happy that a lot of people are paying attention to African music right now because I feel like it's deserved, and they need to know where the originality came from. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? It all started in Africa,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that it's happening. You know, I'm glad that I'm not still on the road. I'm glad that we're almost at we're at that destination right now, and we're enjoying it right now. So yeah, shout out to all the big heavy hitters like Wiz, Burner, doing the thing, putting us on the map. It's a beautiful thing, definitely.
So I gotta ask you, like,
Mm.
when you first saw Madhau trending on TikTok, were you thinking to yourself, "This can't be real. This can't be real." How was this like trending like this? Did you expect it to happen?
Does anyone, everyone hopes that it happens, but I've never in my whole entire career experienced a viral moment. And it was so surreal, bro. It was very overwhelming. You know, um, I'm one of those artists that's very used to, um, you know, taking charge in the sense of like when I release something and someone shouts me, I'm always quick to, say thank you so much for having, taking the opportunity. But it starts getting overwhelming when you have over 1,000 messages,
Yeah,
and it's a lot, and you
yeah,
like want to respond to everyone, but then you realize that you only have so much time in the day to be able to do this. And then I get why a lot of people have social media teams. I wasn't in a position to be able to ever get that because I wasn't at that platform yet. You know what I mean? At that level, but I understand it now because it is a lot of work. It is so that was very overwhelming for me. But nonetheless, we took it on, and I took my time, went out there, said thank you to a lot of people that have taken the time to listen to my music because a lot of people don't. If I don't know if you've realized, but on TikTok, I was very brand new on TikTok. Okay,
mm,
I had about maybe say 3,000 followers. And within a week, I've now got over 30,000 followers.
I
So
know.
you can imagine it is constant. I had to switch off notifications because, as you can imagine, my phone was battery was dying. It was crazy. A lot of people hitting me up for remixes and features,
Ooh,
and
okay.
it's so dope. It's so cool because I love collaborating because at the end of the day, for me, that's how music is grown, and that's how, as a musician, you also want to be able to collaborate so that you can, exchange different energies and come up with something amazing. So I'm really excited that this is happening right now, and there's a lot of big stuff that I'm doing now. Shout out to this project that's really opened a lot of doors for me. So I'm really excited for this 2024 because there's a lot of stuff that I really want y'all to hear. And I'm really excited because I think if you like Madhau, you're gonna love what we're coming out with next. Trust me, trust me, it's gonna be such a mazza. And yeah, man, I'm just hoping that everyone stays on this Bombera train with me, and enjoys the journey while we keep it moving.
Oh, Bombera, don't even get me started with that track. That track right there is on repeat too. When I tell you, honestly,
uh,
Kaz, when you dropped Madhau, I said, this song right here, I could
mm.
already feel it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was about to go off. But I gotta ask you, when it comes to the concept of the song,
Mm.
how did the ladies like receive it? Like, what was the feedback like from the ladies?
It was really good. It was really, really good. I think a lot of people don't realize this, but my statistics, as you would call them, are very male dominant. I think about 70 to 80% are males that listen to my music because obviously it relates to them.
Yeah.
But this one was a complete 180. Like a lot of the beautiful honeys came through and showed a lot of love because I think it also is a song that is quite inspiring, for the next generation. A lot. I also noticed that even in the comment section when the song dropped, shout out to the Madhaus out there, shout out to the Chieras out there. And I liked the fact that they were owning the totem. You know what I mean? And I think it's important for the next generation to understand about the totems. And this is one of the reasons why we wrote this song. Tanaka and I, when we were talking about it, we had this conversation about, the culture shouldn't be lost. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter where you are. Should always try and bring that culture forward for the next generation. And I think in my career, it's something that I've always tried to do. Like one of my first big singles with my brother BK was Amina Kadea. And that was an old school game that we used to play, a clapping game. And
Yeah.
the reason why we put it into song form was because we didn't want people to forget the history of these songs, like that kind of resonated with us when we were growing up. And I think it was very important to continue pushing that kind of narrative and just touching bases on certain things that we feel like shouldn't be forgotten as a Zimbabwean whole, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So and the fact that so many different people from Zambia are also jumping onto this track and saying we love this track, it's nice. It's a beautiful thing. Like back in the day, a lot of people couldn't understand why they were loving Nigerian songs, even though they didn't understand what they were saying. It was just about the feeling of what the song brought.
Mm.
And it's nice to see that Zimbabwean music is also starting to cross over like that. You may not understand what we're saying, but as long as the vibe is right and feels right in your soul,
Yeah.
that's great. And I feel like we're starting to catch on to that angle. And I think that's one of the things that we need to push as a culture and as a community. So yeah, man, I'm really excited that all in all, they're vibing with the track, and I'm loving that.
It's very interesting that you say that because I'm not gonna lie, when I listen to the song, I don't know what the song is saying. I don't know what you are saying, but obviously it's in Shona and the
Mm,
language, the sound is
mm.
just so like beautiful. Like it brightens me up. I'm like,
Thank you,
wow, like I can
thank
listen to
you,
this all the time. But
thank
speaking of
you.
like the concept again, of course, like obviously it has a strong meaning behind it. And
Mm,
obviously it's all about like, strong women. And in this generation right now, in this like young generation, the Gen Z, also the millennials as well,
mm.
what advice do you have for the ladies out there or to the young people out there when it comes to just keeping up a successful relationship or marriage?
I think it's important to know your self-worth. Okay,
Mm,
I think it's very important to understand that, but also at the same time respecting traditional ways, trying to
okay.
bring forward traditional ways. I mean, listen, our parents and our forefathers had ways of doing certain things. Some of them I may not agree with, but it's about trying to understand why they were put in place, and bringing that message forward, you know. I always speak to a lot of people, like, in my general conversations with a lot of my friends, and I always say that, back in the day, parents were not taught how to teach. We weren't taught how to teach. We weren't taught how to learn, if that makes sense. And you always hear that statement of, sins of your father, and continue, and you're all about trying to break that cycle. And I think being able to break certain cycles, it's important to understand where those cycles originated from, and what message they bring with that cycle, and then paving the way forward for the next generation. And I just think that, you know a long time ago, it was very difficult for someone to teach you, and or teach you how to learn, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. And I feel like now we're at that point where we have no excuse, because the mobile phones that we have are literally information right in the palm of your hands. So I always feel like, I think it's important to be able to try and break certain cycles, especially from a parent's perspective. I think it's also important to break those cycles, and create new cycles, in a sense, and basically take old ones and kind of rejig them to work for you in your relationship, rather than saying, no, my dad did it like this, so I'm doing it like this. So I'm also part of that. It's very difficult to be able to break those cycles, but I think putting an effort or an intention into trying to understand these cycles and trying to change them to make it better for yourself and the next generation that's coming is very important. And yeah, I'm gonna try and do that through music.
Amazing. It's very interesting on your take as well, because obviously, I don't know if you see it on social media, but you're embracing us strong women and you're
Hmm.
shouting us out. But what's your take on everyone saying, you know what, I'm tired of being strong. I just want a soft life.
I don't know. I think soft life is cool, but nothing. I personally think that if you don't struggle for something, then how do you own it?
Okay, tell them.
Yeah, I think a little struggle helps build character in your
Mm-hmm.
life. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I think you got to push. It's like someone wanting to get muscles and everything, but you don't want to go to the gym. It,
Yeah,
you need to go through a bit of struggle to be able to understand and work on yourself to be able to become much stronger. And I feel like
yeah.
soft life is nice, but it sounds lazy. I'm just, I'm just saying. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, it may be comfortable for people, but we, where I come from, you gotta struggle a little bit in order for you
Yeah,
to be able to experience
definitely.
and appreciate, things that you've gone through. I think that the more you struggle, the more you appreciate it later on. For me, certainly, I am, because I've been in the game almost 20 years,
Wow.
and things are now starting to happen for me now. So I know consistency is very much, of very big importance in any kind of thing that you're striving for. But that doesn't come from a soft life, though. That comes from
Definitely.
working hard,
Yeah.
so, and it's crazy. It's crazy because I personally think that, yeah, soft life is cool, but nah, I think you need to struggle a little to understand and appreciate more.
Yeah.
And a lot of luck, because algorithms. I feel like it's like one of those,
Yeah.
and just you're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
But obviously there is a bit of science to it, and I feel like, yeah, consistency is very important, and getting the viral moment is, like I said, it's a surreal experience,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not prepared for it, it can it can throw you for six. But I've been lucky enough to have a great team around me,
Mm-hmm.
that have been able to give me good advice, um, give me, steer me in the right direction, you know, remind me not to lose myself in these things, because you hear it a lot of times, and yeah, these are the kind of things that can literally change someone's whole, you know, they change their whole spirit. And I didn't want to do that, and obviously you don't want to do that, but yeah, it is a very powerful thing. Vibration was strong. When you know that people are talking about you, you can actually feel it. And
Yeah.
I felt
Mhm.
it. I felt it. there were
Yeah.
certain points where my ears were starting to ring, you know, and it was like, wow, what's going on? Is it, I haven't done anything different. Do you know what I mean? But you feel it. You
Yeah.
feel it. I remember one time when the song was doing like really like, I think we were like day two into it, and I started to shake, like, you know. So I had to literally go outside and take off my shoes, sit down, ground myself, you know, literally calm myself down for at least 10 minutes to be able to just kind of, neutralize or balance the emotions,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, when I started saying it's very overwhelming, a lot of people didn't understand what I meant, but
Mm,
I was physically overwhelmed. Like, I was feeling this a lot. Not it wasn't a bad thing. It was just very different. It was a different
different.
experience, a different feeling,
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's eh, what an experience. What an experience. And just I'm happy that I can, tick it on my bucket list to say that man went viral in his life one time, in his music career. So shout out to everyone that's following me now, and shout out to all the people that are now have been introduced to my music. I'm loving the fact that a lot of people that have been introduced to it are falling back on the catalog and bumping into tracks like Bombera, Problem, and Danger, and it's really nice. They're like, yo, can't believe you did this. This is great. And it's like I'm happy that people are now starting to experience and go through the catalog. And yeah, man, all I'm hoping for is make sure you subscribe because we're not done yet. You know what I mean? We've got a whole other catalog ready to release. So we want people to stick with us on this journey. My team and I want people to stick with us on this journey and experience what we have to offer. Because, like I said, if you look at the catalog, we give you nothing but good vibes, and expect that from us, and we will continue to give you those good vibes.
I love that. Now, at the beginning of the interview, you mentioned that, you've got a lot of things that you're working on. But I'm going to
Yes.
ask you, if you had if you had to pick two artists to jump on Madhau remix, who would it
Ah,
be? It can be male,
I'd,
it can be female, whichever.
I would love Makadzi
Mm-hmm.
to hop on this track. I think she would bless this track so well, and I feel like she's the ultimate Madao. She's
Yeah.
she's a strong woman. And if I had to ask for a guy, I would say Master KG.
Okay.
And the only reason why I picked these two right now, I think in terms of sound, Master KG understands the kind of sound. I love the sound that is releasing. If you feel this track, you'll notice a lot of the feeling is something that Master KG would do. And Makadzi, I like that she's very outspoken and she's got such a great vibe. Her tracks are
Mm,
just so big. And she is loved in my country.
yeah.
She's so loved in my country. And I like that. I like the fact that, my Zimbabwe people are showing her so much love, and she shows them back love. Do you know what I mean? So I respect that. I respect that in an artist, you know what I mean? That, even though you might not be from the same country, but you appreciate that country. And I like that about her. So that's why I would love those two, you know. Um, Other people like Vale Music, she could be on there as well. So yeah, man, I'm open for anything. But if I had to pick those two, those are probably the two that I would love to get on there.
I love that. So
Mm.
what's next then? What are you currently working on? Give us the tea. Like what's been
Well, things have had to kind of like not slow down, but obviously we weren't expecting. Oh, we were hoping for this, but we're now in that stage where we're now getting ready to shoot the music video. I
okay.
think uh, I think it's very important to get a visual out now, but
Mm-hmm.
something that's really really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
One of those visuals that has a storyline. If you know what I mean,
Uh,
something that's really. So I'm getting ready for that. I'm actually speaking to the team right now to see if we can get that sorted. So make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to see what's going on. And For those of you that want to know what's coming, make sure you guys can see my Instagram channel. I have a little clip at the end of one of my pin drops, and there's a whole bunch of songs there that I'm really excited to release. Tanaka and I are working with an Italian group called Kitambo Lab. We've been working on, I think, like 12 or 14 Afrobeat tracks that are
Mm.
pure fire. So there's that to look forward to as well. Um, there's a lot of features that I'm going to be doing as well this year. I don't want to say too much. I would love everyone to keep following and seeing where the journey is going to go. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming, and I'm really excited for people to hear what we have. All I can say is Tashika Shika Tashika Shika Tashika Nasi.
Hey.
And that's a hint. That's a hint to the next one. That's all I can say.
Is that great already? Where did you get it?
I'm telling you, trust me, this one I'm hoping is going to do the viralness online as well, because Tashika in Shona means we've landed, we've arrived. So
Ooh.
I think it's fair to be the next. It should be it should be one of the next ones to definitely drop, because I feel like we're finally being seen, and it's nice because I think that song makes sense to come out this year. So cross fingers. See what happens.
I love that. So, of course, before you go,
Mhm.
I need you to just give the people, to the young ladies, to just the women out there, like
Yeah.
what message have you got for them when it comes to the strong women out there? What message do you have for them coming from you?
Uh, my message to the women out there is continue to stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, watch your surroundings.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Um, guard your energy. Live your life. Enjoy your journey, and respect the people that you care about. And
Do you
that's
know
my
what, that
advice.
actually spoke to me? Especially, so be careful of your surroundings. That right there, that
Mm,
spoke right
mm.
there.
I think it's sound advice, and I think it's something that I would also personally use myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
to the strong Madhaus out there, definitely, stay strong. You know what I mean? A lot of men love strong women. You know, a lot
Mm,
of men love strong women. But not but and I think it's important to show that your strength, because the strength comes in so many different ways. Whether you're looking after the kids, whether you're handling the house, that strength is important. And I think us guys should definitely, you know, big up the woman, for being strong, handling their business. So yeah,
I love that.
off
So
the top.
obviously you had your Australia tour. Can we expect any other tour this year?
Cross fingers, we might be back in Australia. Cross fingers, we might be back in Australia this year. I know we have something in the pipeline for Toronto in Canada, and we're also talking to a couple of people for a European tour, which is I think it's Poland and Belgium and
Okay.
I think Germany as well. So
Oh, you're
yeah,
going worldwide. You're going
I'm
worldwide this year.
listen. This is one of my dreams of being a musician. One of the reasons why I jumped into this game was I wanted to be in a position to not just only use music as a bridge, but also use it as an airplane
Yeah.
to fly to so many different places. Because my dad always used to tell me that it's so important to travel. It says
Yes.
that's how you gain experience and you
Mm-hmm.
gain life lessons. And what better way to travel the world by doing something that you love?
Yes.
So I'm really excited to do a lot of traveling, and I want to do it not just myself. I want to do it with my family. I want my
Mm-hmm.
kids to come with me as well, because I feel like, you know if they have the opportunity to do that, then why not? Never know when the next COVID is coming, so you might as well try and travel as best and fast as possible. Try and enjoy as much as you can right now. Like I said, it's all about enjoying the journey right now, and the journey is
Yeah.
dope.
Definitely.
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 Mm.
So can we expect a UK tour for the people that are in the UK?
Yes, now standard. We are in the UK, so there is going to be a lot of gigs that are like summertime. Whoa! Like my manager, I remember he just sent me a list of festivals he's applied to. So I'm just waiting to see what happens because I'm excited to put that list down and say, guys, this is where we're gonna be. Come through and come and support.
Well, I want to say thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend, and
Thank you.
to see you very soon on our screens again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity to speak on your platform, Fats. Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Take it easy.